This weekend, Andy's looking for Carmen in North Dakota. Ryan is dealing in axes and weapons, and we throw shurikens from a Sega surfboard. I'm Ryan.
I'm Andy.
And this is Weekend Rental, episode 211. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. Andy, how you been doing?
Pretty well. Just got back from vacation and all refreshed / stressed out even more.
Yeah, I mean, vacationing with the family is the most relaxing thing ever, right?
Right. Especially me. Like my vacation type is not the type of just sit or just like lay on a beach. I just can't do that. It's like you're going somewhere that you haven't been before. You got to see the stuff, right? But
yeah. And you guys like to put miles on. I think like every time you guys do a vacation, it's like a road trip. So what'd you guys get up to?
We spent a healthy amount of time in this place called North Dakota. I don't know if you're aware of.
No, I've never heard of it. Seems like an odd place to vacation. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Most of us who live here leave any chance we get.
So I looked this up and we traveled pretty much, kind of did a loop through North Dakota, and we went through the top 13 of the top 15 biggest cities in North Dakota.
Well, they're all on the highways and interstates that you chose to dig it down, so that makes sense.
There's pretty much two roads down North Dakota, and they're pretty much all on that. And it must be like a railroad thing, right? Like that's where the railroads were, so that's the only place any of this stuff ever happened. But yeah, did all that stuff, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you told me you were going to Medora, I feared for you because I think Medora is probably like the 8th circle of hell as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, the nature, beautiful. Everything else in that musical, like, just send me to Kevorkian. Like, I'd rather do that than sit through that musical. I'm just saying.
Yep. I will say, we watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and I kind of had to turn a corner on musicals. I'm like, oh, this is good musical, whatever.
You were in the mindset for it.
And then I did a hard 180 right back to, no, musicals are awful.
Yeah.
And that is we're just going to sing in front of you the entire time, and not my thing at all.
Did they have any like special acts that like sometimes they have like a special act that is not related to the show, or no?
Yeah, they had a drum line, which is all right, I guess. But
so not to date myself, but the last time I had to go to that damn thing on a family trip, I think it was in 2000. And the special guest at the time was an unknown ventriloquist named Jeff Dunham. So not only was I subjected to the shitty musical, I had to listen to that fucking idiot with his puppets for like 30 minutes too. Which, I mean, you can understand why I maybe have some reservations around that whole thing. So
you're not the one bragging about it, saying like, I knew Jeff Dunham before he was cool.
Well, I knew him before he had like the incredibly racist, like 9/11, like skeleton
bomb guy.
Puppet. Yeah. So he was slightly less offensive back then, but he was not entertaining. I'll say that. And that guy's still going around. I saw he's coming to Fargo here, like
really
soon.
Wow.
So,
yeah. At least we went on a night that it was, North Dakota is mostly in school now, right? So there was a very good weekend to kind of be out in North Dakota. It was pretty relaxed and not a lot of people, and not 100 degrees like it usually is out there. So
true. Any rattlesnake encounters, or did you guys miss them?
No, it's fine.
Nice.
My kids freaked out about it all the time, though. Pretty much any noise walking in the trails.
I mean, it's a good thing to be on high alert for, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, well, I'm glad you had an okay time. I mean, I'm pooping on North Dakota, but there's a reason I live here, and there is some fun to be had, especially in the outdoors.
Oh yeah.
When you get through like the expanses of like the middle 2/3 of the state where it's literally just nothing, and get to the other ends, it's all right. So
yeah, I mean it still is a pretty wide open frontier. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, and I mean, you look at all the stuff and all the history and stuff, and you're thinking like, this stuff really didn't happen that long ago. You know, it was.
Oh God, no.
It was all. I mean, my grandpa was pretty much born when half the stuff was going out there. So.
Yeah, I mean, like we're second and third generation immigrants here. Some of us from like Scandinavian regions. So yeah, it's pretty newly settled. Even Fargo, where I live, is an earlier settlement, and it doesn't date all that far back into the 1800s. So
yeah,
kind of wild.
Yeah, it's weird to think about in that regard. But yeah, and kind of video game related. Have you been to this arcade that's in Bismarck? It's in the Bismarck Mall.
I've been to an arcade in the Bismarck Mall, but it probably, I don't know if it's the same one, definitely not the same form factor of the one that you sent me some pictures from. I have visited the mall and been to the arcade there, but it's been forever.
Sure. This one is
pretty gigantic
now. I mean, it is like, it takes over one of the big anchor stores. I mean, it takes up that entire space. It's probably
That's wild.
100,000 square foot, probably. It's crazy.
Wow.
And it's all kind of garbage games that just really collect tickets. You know, there's not any. There's some cool video game stuff, but nothing retro. I think there was like 2 fighting games over in the corner. That's about it.
Any pinball at all, or nothing much?
There was pinball. Yeah.
Okay. So well, at least you got that.
Try that. Yeah. But
that's a pretty gutsy move for an anchor store. I'm sure they're paying decent square footage rate on that, and
there wasn't many people there. I don't know how they're doing, but
that's funny. I was just seeing a clip on like, you know, everyone's talking about the tourist decline and like Vegas is struggling. And then they interviewed the guy from the Pinball Hall of Fame or whatever pinball thing, and he's like, it's the same shit every day. Like we haven't changed our prices. A quarter is still a quarter here. It hasn't changed in like 70 years. And like, we just open the doors and people come. And I'm like, I mean, I'm glad it's working out for you. Like,
yeah.
That's still a bucket list item. I want to do that one day, but
yeah,
if I get to Bismarck again, I'm gonna have to check that out though. That sounds awesome. Even if it is mostly just me. So did you guys spend a lot of time winning tickets and then redeeming for tchotchkes, or?
No, not really. I mean, you do the thing and then you decide to buy the garbage that's obviously worth like 1/50th of the price that you paid for the stuff, but it was all right. But yeah, the kind of the weird thing I've noticed with, now that you say like the tourism is down, like there was not very many people with kids and families out doing the tourism stuff. It's all old retired people, or they're just like the 2 young people who just got married and they're in their Sprinter van, you know, those type of.
Sure. Yeah.
And their dog, you know, their little dog.
And they're vlogging it all for their YouTube channel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I can see that. They have said like tourism is way, way down in North Dakota. And I'm sure that Medora area, especially where you're at, was a pretty frequently visited spot for Canadian tourists. So.
Right. Yeah. Then you look at license plate there. I mean, there's some Canadians, but not as much as you would expect in those type of places for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it. How was Devil's Lake? I haven't been there in like probably 15 years. Is it still kind of scudsy and gross, or was it all right?
I mean, it's all right. We stayed on the Indian reservation too, so.
Oh, nice.
That was had a good, a decent amount of the water park anyway. The kids had fun in that.
So you were at like the casino there?
Yeah.
Did you gamble?
A little bit, and then that didn't go well, so did something else. It's kind of neat. I mean, it's a different type of lake, obviously, but it is a natural lake. It's just weird that it's all shaped the way it is. You know, you go out on the western side, and it's, you know, they have the reservoir on the river, which is a whole different thing, but.
Yeah.
And I haven't been out there since like the oil boom kind of took place out there. And
wow.
Gotten
busier. Minot especially.
Yeah. And it just kind of sucks because you drive and you see all these open prairies of there's, and you just can't find an area to just view the horizon without an oil pump or some tanks or something. It's just constant. Pretty much every section of land has it.
And yet that's still somehow preferred to like fields with wind turbines somehow. I guess the oil, I guess those rigs aren't killing whales and birds somehow, so it must be fine. Yeah. But yeah, I know what you mean. It is everywhere. And then like, that highway 2 between Minot and Grand Forks, like the amount of traffic and just even the amount of traffic in a city like Minot that has just boomed over the last 20 years. It's wild.
Yep. It's a lot of money out there that has been spent. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it draws people from all over. I mean, if you can get a rig job, I mean, you're making bank. You're also working 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, but
yeah.
And potentially killing yourself every day, depending on, but yeah, I don't know. You don't hear as much about, I mean, obviously I know it's still like a big thing. You don't hear as much about it as you did like 10 years ago, but it's still going strong, even if it's leveled off to some extent.
Yeah. I don't think it's as crazy. Like, obviously when gas prices were really high, then it was very lucrative to be getting the oil out over there. But,
yeah,
from what I understand, it's a lot less now, but
a lot of farmers became millionaires overnight though.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah. I was looking at land out there, even like around Medora. was just curious, like what that even goes. There's like nothing even available for sale. And the ones that are just like millions of dollars. And
yeah, it all gets scooped up in like huge lots. Cause it tends to be like investors buying for mineral rights, or on the other section you get these like CEOs and like corporations that are just like buying massive land grabs to do like private hunting grounds and set up lodges. And it's kind of made it hard for residents. Like it's pushed people out. Like public hunting land is very difficult to come by. Like it kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well, even just Medora in general, where, I mean, it's this pretty big tourism town. I mean, they're advertising hundreds of miles away to come to this town.
Yeah.
It's a huge tourism draw, and there's still only 160 people that live in this town. So like, how does that even support it? I mean, they have to have a major amount of seasonal people that live there, but
yeah, I think like 3/4 of Medora is all run by like one organization that like runs all the bars, restaurants, the lodging, they staff people, and like, yeah, you stay in bunkhouses, and it's weird.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of hotels, right? Like there's like 2 options.
Yeah, no. Yeah. There's like one gas station that's like an off brand of just like it's just, there's nothing like branded that you would expect. It's a totally unlabeled town.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a resident there, like you'd literally have to like live off of Dickinson to like get your groceries and stuff, because there's just no infrastructure. I mean, once that slows down after Labor Day weekend, I bet it's just a ghost town.
Yeah.
It's probably the time to go see it is like in November before the snow really comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you guys stop at like the Painted Canyon turnout and like admire the views there and stuff?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's always like my favorite stop, because like it's usually not too crowded, and
it's an easy
pretty picturesque
on the interstate there. And
yeah. Step over some bison shit.
Yep.
Good stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys had fun. When you told me the plan, I was sort of questioning how much fun that could be, but maybe I'm probably jaded because I've seen a lot of those places too many times in my life.
Well, we did stop at the geographic center of North America, and that's that's a pretty happening place, that's for sure.
And did you ooh and ah at the Continental Divide sign on interstate? You're like, ooh, water drains that way and this way now. It's amazing, kids.
Yep.
I love that there's a sign for that when like there's virtually no indication of any such thing. there's no pullover. It's just like, nope, the water goes west or it goes east right here. So good to know.
We threw some leaves down and sticks down, and they all went different directions from here.
3 went to the Pacific, 1 went to the Gulf. Yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah. Well, I haven't done as much as you since the last time. We did a little bit of a last hurrah for the kids because they started school today. So on Saturday we're like, well, let's do a little bit of a family day and have some fun. Throw out some options. We considered going to Minneapolis actually for the state fair, and then I was like, the more I was reading about the state fair and the attendance numbers and the current construction on interstate, and then like the prices of everything, I was like, I'm going to be pissed off before we get there. And then once I see like 200,000 people, I'm really going to be annoyed. So let's avoid that. So we decided to stay in town. We came up with some ideas. So we decided to go do axe throwing. Kids haven't done that. Jill and I have gone. And holy shit, for 4 of us to axe throw for an hour, it was like $140.
What?
Like she rang it up and I was just like, really? And then my son was like struggling with it. So like he spent like no shit. Like we were playing horse or hatchet, I guess. And it took him like 10 minutes to like try and get an axe in, and finally he just gave up and gave himself a letter. So like he was instantly pissed, like not into it at all. I mean, it was fun. Like it's a good family activity, but at that price point, it's just like, what are we doing here?
Wow. Cause that's mostly, I guess I haven't done it before, but is there like somebody manning each thing kind of?
There's one person and they give you like a crash course and like kind of how to do it, make sure everybody kind of is able to get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm just waiting for like the headline where like man buries hatchet and like wife or girlfriend or something, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
So that was kind of a bust. But then the kids wanted to see Weapons, that new horror movie.
Oh, the kids want.
Yeah, the kids are very into horror movies right now. So we went to that. That is like it's a good movie. It is a very long runtime. It's like 2 hours plus. And it's one of those movies that does like the multiple storylines. So it's like it follows each person in the story from their perspective over a couple day period. So it almost got to like M. Night Shyamalan levels of like storytelling, except instead of like a bullshit twist that just pisses you off and feels like you wasted your whole life watching the movie, it like actually kind of did something clever at the end and like came together. But it's not a movie you're going to watch on repeat. Like this is a one and done thing. Pretty entertaining, more of a drama and like maybe like with slight sci-fi elements than an actual horror movie. The payoff's pretty good at the end though. I won't spoil it, but it comes together and ends in a pretty gruesome and also hilarious way. So it was all right.
I really do want to see that because that's the person that did Barbarian, which I really like that movie for that same, kind of the twist in that movie is pretty clever too. Cause it seems like it's one movie and then it's like not that movie at all anymore.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing was like, they never fully explain like the baddie. Like you're kind of left to just jump to conclusions as to what the person was. Like, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But I think my favorite part was just like there's an inexperienced cop character, or like, maybe he's not inexperienced, but there's like a cop character whose dad's also, or not dad, father-in-law is also like the chief of police. And he's like, he has like a thing with needles and he ends up getting poked. So like, he's just worried about like getting AIDS the whole movie, which is like super hilarious, but I don't know. It's not supposed to be funny. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. There were definitely a lot of people laughing out loud at certain moments in that movie, but a couple jump scares here and there.
When the kids are running around with their Naruto run, like that there has to be some level of like, okay, you can kind of chuckle a little bit about this movie.
Oh, that's been a big thing around the house. Kids have been running around with their arms out. I've been running after them with my arms out. Like, I think that night after we got back, I had my kid come out like at midnight and I was like, hey dude, like what's going on in the backyard? Cause like the people a couple houses down were clearly having a party and there were like lights reflecting off the house and like shadows. And I got him out there and I did like the whole weird arm run at him and freaked him out. It was great. So yeah, it was a pretty good like wrap up of summer. And like my kids are at that age where it's like, if you don't get them out of the house to do something, like you're just not going to have their attention. So
yeah,
it worked out all right. But Yeah, other than that, I don't know if you've been playing any games or anything. I suppose you've been gone, so.
Yeah, mostly gone, I would say. That I mean, I'm still doing Donkey Kong. I'm probably at 400 bananas now. Got to the
Really? Okay.
elephants now, so
You've been more thorough than I am because I think I got to like 450 by the time I finished. So
okay. Yeah, I really really trying to get everything as I go.
sure.
Pretty clean up the area as much as I can before I keep going. But I'll probably it probably doesn't matter because the bananas are just toward the end, I'm guessing, and the payoffs and the skills that you get are like so not really useful anymore.
Yeah, you'll be happier with grinding it out now for the new game plus because you'll have a little bit less backtracking.
Oh, okay, sure.
But yeah, the elephant abilities are awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't quite got that, but that's next up. But
so I ended up finding because it makes sense, but Target seems to be clearing out Switch titles, which I'd imagine that's gonna be happening pretty fast and furious because it seems like with the success of Switch 2, Switch doesn't have much legs, but they were fire sailing a whole bunch of their like first party titles really cheap. All of them I had, but I managed to grab like Splatoon 3 I hadn't picked up. I got that for like 20. And then they had Sonic Frontiers for like 11. And I was like, all right, I'll try that. And you've played some of this, right?
Yeah. It's weird.
It's a fucking weird game. It's like
it's a weird game.
Breath of the Wild's amazing, but let's put Sonic in it. But then they gave it the same level of polish they give everything with Sonic. So instead of like, ooh, cool object to go check out, it's just like there's a fucking rail that corkscrews up into God knows where. And like, I don't know, man.
It's just like random assets like littered through the sky in some spots, you know?
And the map unlock using like damn near the same jingle as you do to unlock the map in Zelda. Like how they didn't get a cease and desist from Nintendo blows my mind. And the sad thing is like, it's actually a pretty good Sonic game. Not that that means a whole lot, but like, yeah, I just can't wrap my head around that thing. Like I'm playing it out of like intrigue more than like enjoyment, really.
Yeah. It's a weird direction, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's definitely got a lot of bugs. The Switch version I've heard is like the most problematic, so that might be part of it, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with it. I think I got to I'm at the first boss from like the first opening like island, and I can't figure out for the life of me what I'm doing wrong, but I can't beat him, and that might be just where I stop because I think I've experienced enough of that thing to decide I don't need to move forward.
The bosses are not good in that game, and I think I've only made it to 3rd level maybe in that kind of area, and yeah, it's kind of the same thing where you're just, I don't know, there's something about just having shit floating in the sky that just doesn't seem like it's creative enough. I mean, I guess Donkey Kong kind of does that, where it's just like, well, now you punch this thing and now you're in this hole. I mean, Mario's done that stuff too, where you're in a whole different thing, right? That is built just for that. But having it just there, and a lot of times you're constantly accidentally hitting it, and then you're going a different direction. It's shooting you all the way across the map sometimes, and you're like, I didn't mean to be over here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and like interspersing like the traditional Sonic stages is interesting, but it's also not fun and kind of takes you out of what the game is trying to be, I feel like. I do appreciate that they replaced the Blood Moon though with like meteor showers. Like it's totally different. Like it resets all the bosses, but it's not a Blood Moon. You get to pick up meteors that I don't know what they do. I saw a thing on the screen, but for the life of me, I couldn't tell you what I accomplished.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Yeah, it's a very Sega 3D Sonic type of game, but wow, is it interesting.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that again. I can't imagine.
I don't think they should have done that the first time. That's like a bad ROM hack of like Breath of the Wild is what that is. It's the whole thing feels like a fever dream. Like I don't know what they were going for, but it wasn't a unified product, that's for sure.
That's probably why they did it, because they knew some Sonic fan was going to mod Zelda anyway to do something like that. So they're like, let's just get ahead and do the project, get some money off of it.
I do appreciate too, like when you unlock like the projectile mechanic, and it's just like you're not even really playing a Sonic game anymore because you're just like gunning down everything on the screen,
Yeah.
which makes the game actually infinitely more fun. But it's weird. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I do enjoy it though. Like it's up there to me with like adventure, like that type of game. It's not as good, but it's up there.
Yep. Yep.
Did you catch that Air Ride direct at all?
I didn't watch that. No.
Okay, so I watched it.
So
it was
what's
like
exciting about
minutes.
that?
Well, you don't control your acceleration, but you use a whopping 2 buttons on the controller for different things, and then they kind of made fun of the game, like how's it different than Mario Kart? He's like, I had the same question. It's not really, and it's just like, oh, okay. So I don't know. It was 45 minutes of like whatever to me. Maybe I'm the wrong audience. I think it'll be fine. But I mean, on a new console where we're getting like another kart racing game, and then we're also getting that like Sonic Crossworlds racing game, maybe this wasn't the right time to like stack all this stuff up.
Yeah. It's, the first one I thought was always like a kind of a whatever, kind of just push it out the door type thing anyway. So it was really weird that, I mean, obviously that they're making another one. It feels like the Smash Brothers guy was like, just give me anything, maybe a small project, so I don't have to work on Smash Brothers again.
Yeah. Well, and he made it sound like it came from higher ups at Nintendo that wanted it like many years ago, but he's just like, I'm so invested in Smash that it's not going to happen. But he's like, now I'm not doing that, so we're doing this thing, and I don't know. It looks neat. It looks cute. It'll probably be fun. I'm gonna grab it, but I don't know that it's got legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I just even Mario Kart, I feel like didn't hit. Like, who's talking about this Mario Kart? I don't hear anybody talking about it. It's crazy.
Yeah, everyone's talking about Bonanza and how Mario Kart wasn't it. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much the consensus. And yeah, to have a 45-minute direct on something that could have been like a cool 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It should have just been bundled in with a larger direct. If I'm honest, it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't interest me any more than like my surface level interest on this whole project anyway. So, but it sounds like they're going to revisit like some of like the hub world modes and stuff and like add more multiplayer into that. So you can have like 8 people on there. So that might be fun, but I don't know. I'm just so desperate for anything Switch related that or Switch 2.
Do you think Metroid is this year?
They keep saying it is. I mean, I think it's going to be their holiday game. I think they have to get it out so they have a holiday game.
Yeah. Well, my concern is this Kirby is their holiday game if they're doing a direct on it. But
let's hope not. I think they had a release date for it. I could be crazy and it was before then, but I can't remember. I don't know if I saw that or not.
But you also have the big release, the big announcement. Yeah.
What was that?
The one that you also have on your list here.
Oh, yes. Speaking of holidays, tariffs are really cool, everybody. So now you get to pay $50 more like other parts of the world for your PlayStation 5. All SKUs went up $50. So that means your $500 normal one is $550, all digital is $500, and that Pro is a whopping and eye-watering $750. All because the Commander in Queef is just doing a bang-up job. This is what we voted for, right? This is awesome.
And the rumor is on that Xbox handheld, which I'm really interested in getting that thing. Like the pricing on that is coming out at like 900 or 1,000 or something like that. That's
I don't know if that's justifiable.
Yeah, I don't know. That's money's just a concept anymore. It's what day is it?
I mean, at some point, I guess I kind of feel like these companies have been fucking over the rest of the world, you know, because I mean, the UK, most of Europe got hit with this stuff with PlayStation and Xbox before we did, but like it's just like self-inflicted stupidity that's costing everyday people, for no reason. Just I find it very irritating. I mean, I still stand by like the PlayStation 5 was a hard one to justify anyway. And when you keep upping the price on this, like, I mean, I'm glad I got one now. Like, I mean, shit, buy your Switch 2s now because God knows what they'll be next year.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that news when I saw it. I mean, it makes total sense, but good Lord.
Yeah, I think that's happening with a lot of things. I mean, even at my job has been, hey, we'll eat the tariff costs for a few months and see how this shakes out for a while. And then once it comes to realization, this isn't going away.
Right.
It's all on the consumer at that point,
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why the average price of ground beef right now in the US is like $6.50 a pound. I mean,
yeah.
Reality and facts are a little bit different than arrogance and blowhard fucking attitudes from people who don't understand the value of a dollar anyway. And when you put those people in charge, guess what? Everybody else pays.
Yeah.
So, but
then, well, we're paying.
Yep.
I don't see anybody stopping. Like, if the Switch 2 went up $50 tomorrow, it's still going to have a pretty good holiday season. So, yeah. I that's the hard part with all this is people are still spending money.
I think they are for now, though. But like, what do the next 2 years look like when the cost to feed your family and like maintain your household like continues to escalate, and like people are gonna have to make choices, and discretionary stuff like gaming, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You wonder if just people aren't paying attention either. They're just still living their own thing without actually seeing like, oh, this is how much more everything is, No.
Yeah, but this is like a huge red flag, and like again, another clear fact that tariffs do cost the American people.
Right.
Like, despite what
I mean, there's also, it never went down either, even when there was no tariffs. Yeah, it never went down either. So, I mean, there's some on Sony here that I feel like they're being kind of greedy too, that usually this stuff goes down.
But at the same point, like when you have, I mean, consoles lose money, right? Like you make it up on the software sales, and you're banking on your chip prices lowering so you can hold steady or go down. But like when your loss leader is also costing you more every unit, like,
yeah,
it kind of makes sense when you think about the model that way.
Yeah. Well, in video games, there's no greatest hits or anything like that anymore either. You know, it's all mostly full price.
Yeah. Well, and if you're Nintendo, you never lower your prices on anything. So.
Right.
It's always a $80 game, I guess.
Yeah. I did see something about Nintendo I could bring up, that they're kind of really getting into this movie stuff, like full bore now. I mean, they set up a subsidiary just for their IP to movie. Right. So it seems like that's going to keep going on, which does it get to the point where Marvel, where it's like, we're doing Pikmin movies and people are like, who gives a shit about this? You know?
Yeah, that could be interesting. Did you see that new like Mario shorts thing they put out too, where it's kind of like stop motion animation with Mario?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cute. I don't know who that's for. But yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they have a hit on their hands, right? I mean,
Zelda's going to do pretty well too, I think, but
yeah. I mean, between their theme parks and the movie stuff, like they've tried other things where they've backed off too, right? Like we're all in on mobile games, and they're like, nah, fuck mobile games. So
oh wait, maybe these are ramp supposed to be free?
And change direction. Yeah. We want money. I think it'll really depend on how that Zelda movie does, but I think just the fact that it's Zelda means a bunch of people will go see it regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering when it gets to the next layer,
Yeah.
The Metroid movie.
Right.
I would love to see it, but yeah.
Smash is just going to be end game. It'll be all the characters fighting a giant hand.
Avengers. Yeah.
We'll put jewels on the hand though. The glove will be bejeweled. Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, good on them, I guess. Like the Nintendo of today is so weird to me, like from what it's been the past decade. It's kind of, I don't know, hard to know what they're thinking exactly. They don't seem as consumer fan base friendly as they have in the past.
No, definitely not. And it almost seems like they have a layer between, they're really not trying to reach out directly into the fan base all that much either, like they used to, I think.
Yeah, their new CEO has definitely changed that dynamic.
Yep.
Speaking of other new game news, did you see this Bubsy 4D launched or reveal trailer?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right?
Why? Why are we doing this? And it's from Atari, right?
Yeah. They it's somebody who was making a 3D platformer, right? And then they're like, well, we could put something in this. It's like the old days where you used to just have something and then you're like, oh, we'll license Bugs Bunny for it, Why not Bubsy?
I did appreciate the callbacks to the horror of Bubsy 3D and the fact that they let you unlock that skin and stuff. But I'm just watching that gameplay and I was like, this looks bad. None of this looks fun.
Yeah.
You're going to sell it based on the Bubsy lore and retro fan base, but mainstream people aren't going to be like, ooh, Bubsy, and buy this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I got to throw a bone to Atari, though, for putting money toward things like this, though. I don't know why. Yeah. I mean, they also have Night Dive and Digital Eclipse, which are doing really cool things, Well, so they're really kind of going for that. They just bought
5 Ubisoft IPs too, didn't they? And they're going to re-release. Oh, really? Yeah, Home or Grow Home, Grow Up, a couple others.
Oh, sure.
So
those are good. Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to see stuff coming out with the Atari name on it, but it's just when you're already the Atari name is already borderline trash, and then you're producing what was considered trash from previous consoles. I don't know.
It makes me wonder if that was, is it because Bubsy is so much tied to the Jaguar? Is that the branding that people come in people's mind at that point?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because Limited Run's already doing that compilation too, right? The Bubsy collection. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the year of Bubsy, really, which is scary to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just watched that and you're right. It looked like just the most generic platformer that you're probably right. Somebody had an engine and a rough character and we'll put Bubsy on it. It doesn't even have to be good because it's Bubsy.
Yeah. We're selling it as a joke anyway.
Yeah. The art style is somewhat interesting, pseudo cell shaded and stuff, but yeah, nothing in that screamed this is going to be fun to me for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
But at least it'll keep Chris from the Stone Age Gamer on his toes because he's going to have to own it physically, right? He's the Atari or the Bubsy collector guy. So, yeah. What's your Quadroids one? I don't know if is this board game?
So no, this is a video game I got on Steam. It's really kind of interesting. It's a 2D platformer. Kind of feels kind of like Meat Boy-esque.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not as devilish as far as traps and hazards. But what it does is it cuts it up into 4 pieces, the screen, and they're not necessarily all in the area, the corner that they're supposed to be. And sometimes they'll mess with like the perspective. It'll be super zoomed in and some will be. So you really don't know once you go off one screen where you're going to end up sometimes. Sure. And in each screen, the button for your jump, because it's pretty much just jump. The button you need to press to jump changes depending on which quadrant you're in.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a mind memory game, trying to train your mind that, okay, it's up in that one, it's this button and all that stuff. So they get more and more creative as they go along, as far as like wall jumping between different ones and doing a whole bunch of cool things. But overall, a pretty simple game. It's
any difference in like gravity or jump height between the quadrants? Or?
I haven't gotten to anything like that, I don't think. But it's a pretty basic platformer, but interesting idea to present it the way they do anyway.
Interesting. I hadn't heard of that one. A couple bucks, I assume.
Yeah, really cheap.
Yeah, well, I might have to look into that. Yeah, the only other thing I had on my list was just the video I watched last night. I don't know if you saw that, but the Game Chasers, like Billy uploaded a video just like, I'm in the ER, like I was like, oh, it's clickbait or whatever, and like dude's in the ER like with a brain tumor, and like clearly he was just like, I need like the community support because like I'm in the dumps right now. It wasn't like a GoFundMe or anything like that shit, but like super sad. Like if you've been in the community, I mean, I think the Game Chasers can be polarizing. It tends to be love or hate, but like I loved what they did, especially in the early days when they were more consistent, and I think they did a lot to like bring the community together. And pretty sad to see. So I don't know anyone who's not aware, send some positive vibes his way.
Yeah. And yeah, the fact that they're still doing it, like obviously not on the same release schedule. It obviously is not the same content because those type of
doesn't exist anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it anymore. But the fact that they keep doing it and trying different things and stuff has always been interesting. So yeah, and yeah, that video is just kind of heartbreaking because it's just you could just see right through him and where his mind's at,
Like that last 10 seconds where you just see him like barely holding it together. It's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, sucks for Billy, but yeah, everybody keep him in your thoughts, I guess, and maybe go watch some Game Chasers and leave some comments. And always been a great channel as far as I'm concerned. So, but with that, I guess we're on to staff picks. You want to go first?
Yeah. Mine is a game I found out about today, actually. And talk about a game that probably is made for me. It's a roguelike coin pusher game.
Oh, I was gonna say deck builder, but okay.
It's a coin push game where you have to score enough coins off the coin pusher to beat each round, and then you buy new special coins that do different things, and they go into the coin pusher. Called? It's a rack coin, because they are raccoons. It's a raccoon world, I guess. I don't know, but it's in early access or something. I mean, it's free right now. It's pretty much like, hey, this thing's barely held together, maybe. So let us know how it plays. It's a playtest type thing. So that sounds interesting. I would try it out now and see if you like it or not.
So it's gonna be like pretty short runs then, right? Because if you're like coin pushing, you've only got like X amount of coins per run. Yeah,
but then you earn tickets because like that's what you would do in a thing, right? That's your buying currency. You can a certain number of times per round you can use your tickets to buy more coins. So it's a kind of a push your luck type thing to be like, oh, there's a few on the edge if I buy tickets, I can buy
Sure.
a few more coins, and I think I can get ahead on that scenario, you know?
I could see that being pretty addictive.
Yeah. And
Is
then,
this mobile, Steam? What are you playing it on?
I think it's just Steam right now, but I would imagine it probably comes to everything at some point. The disappointing part is the way you do coins is put coins in the machine. I was hoping that it would be kind of especially on a PC, mouse control exactly, aim exactly where you want to shoot the coin, right?
Right.
No, this is left button shoots it to the right, and then your right button shoots it to the left. They come out on both sides of the coin pusher. And if you press both mouse buttons at the same time, they'll, two of them will shoot out, hit in the middle. So it's not real accurate as far as like, I want that coin right there.
Sure.
I think they could do better at that.
Yeah, like have the automated swing and just do your timing and
right, something like that. Yep.
Yeah. Maybe that'll all end up happening in the final version then.
Yep.
Sounds interesting. I mean, if it's free, why not give it a shot, right?
Yep. I haven't gotten too deep into enough. I mean, obviously, roguelikes like that are half of the game is breaking the game with, some combo that you find with whatever random different charms or bits or whatever that change how the game works, right? So I haven't done enough to figure out if it's good on that end, which I think if that's not good, this game is probably doesn't have any legs. Not like a Balatro or something like that, where it does a really good job at that.
Yeah, that seems like the part that they're probably going to need to work on more. So probably good to get some testing in now.
Yep.
That's interesting. I've never heard of a coin machine roguelike.
Everything's
interesting
a roguelike
concept. Yeah, that's true. It is pretty popular right now. Yeah. Mine, I think, is a YouTube channel I've talked about before. This isn't the YouTube channel, but it's related to it. There's that Chad Caruso who did like the Skate Across America 2 years ago. I think he was like the first man to ever skateboard Venice Beach to, I forget where, on the East Coast, all by himself, no like chase vehicle or anything. And he vlogged it. He vlogged it every day for like the 2 months it took him. And I watched that, but then they put out a full blown documentary now, which has been edited down. It's got like a good like 45-minute runtime. So it's like it kind of cuts out on the just day to day, like this terrain sucks, there's nothing to look at, and just kind of a concise 45-minute run where you kind of get to see this amazing journey and touch on the highlights. So if you're up for like a good inspirational story and not super into like long form content, I think it's a really cool documentary. And he's a pretty chill guy, like pretty humble. Like they even have his like interviews at the end where like, he's on the media and getting like talked to by the mayor, and they name it like Chad Caruso Day or whatever. And he's just like, I was like, I didn't think anybody would be here. He's like, I just wanted to do a thing, So, but like the part that always blows my mind with that thing is like, he did it all on one board and one set of wheels. And like those wheels and that board were so ragged by the end, cause he was doing like 50 miles a day plus rain, sleet, snow. Like, I don't think he hit snow. He did it at the right time, but yeah, pretty great documentary, and pretty interesting watch. I think it's definitely well worth it, even if you're not like into skateboarding or that sort of thing. If you just want to watch a guy on a cool journey, it's pretty sweet.
The thing that interests me right off the jump on that is, does he talk about how he plans a route as far as like, is it better to go out of your way to be on a smoother road?
Right. Yeah, and it's funny because in the documentary they don't really get into how he planned his route. He did on the YouTube channel, and like the app he used and like the way he edited it, and like sometimes he'd end up on a gravel road and have to backtrack 6 miles and stuff. But in the documentary they kind of cut the fat on that. So but they do show like some of the stuff where he goes and like the road's just like shit, and like it's got the scene where the car, like I think somebody was like texting and driving, like veers at him like inside of a city, and like he like literally like bails into the ditch and like almost gets run over. So,
jeez,
pretty crazy.
Wow.
And encounters with some of the cops where it's just like, well, you look shady because you're wearing all black. You're going to let me check your backpack or I can handcuff you and take you into the station. And he's like, really? He's like, yep. He's like, okay.
Wow.
And they're like, well, you check out. All right, see you later. But yeah, that guy's planning, like, it's so funny because like they touch on it at the beginning of the documentary where he's like conditioning himself, right? Because he's not a young dude. Like he was like 40 when he did this. And a recovered alcoholic. He did some fundraising for it too, but he's just like, yeah, like conditioning himself, going up steep hills, like trying to reach 50 miles a day on a route, like training up to this thing. But then like they show his backpack. And he's like, I got this outfit on, which is like a hoodie, a t-shirt, and jeans. He's like, and I have one more set of this exact same outfit in my backpack. He doesn't even bring a poncho really. He just like drapes himself in garbage bags when it rains.
Jeez.
Like, it's just so wild. He's just like, I'm going to go for it and I want to do it. So here we go.
Huh. So it wasn't even like a fundraising stunt or anything like that.
No, because he did like some of the podcast circuit after and got on like the 9 Club and the Tony Hawk versus Wolf podcast and stuff. And he was talking about like, because he was a well-known skateboarder in like, I think the New York area, but he wasn't like a pro of any kind. So like he reached out to companies for sponsorships, like said he was doing it for charity. He's like, nobody wanted to do it. He's like, I was just going to do it. So pretty crazy.
Yeah. The bottom of that guy's feet have to be like, you'd have to be immune to the vibration of that stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then it was funny too, because like I knew he had some knee problems like when I watched his series, but they were showing the clip because he was filming for a skateboard part like 2 months before he was supposed to go. And he like showing him do like a 360. I think it was a 360 flip or like a 360 shove it off like an 8 stair. And he's just eating shit. And they show him do like 4 attempts. And like the last one, he like rips his meniscus like 2 months before he's supposed to do this thing. It's just like that guy went in like fully haggard from skateboarding and still managed to come out the other end. Like, pretty wild. They're like, they touched on his like his regimen too a little bit where he's just like cheapest hotel in every city. So he's staying in like these ghetto rooms and then gets to the hotel, like fills up a garbage can full of ice, lays on the bed, like ices his knees, and then like gets up at 5 a.m. and does it all again.
Oh gosh. Wow.
So it's pretty cool. And pretty nuts. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that could go wrong on that. Not just like your human body failing you, but like pretty crazy. I mean, 3,000 some miles he did. So
jeez. And just pushing it the whole time. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's neat. I recommend it. Across America is what it's called. So
does he switch legs?
Yes, he does. He pushes both feet. So that he said was like the biggest challenge was like getting good at like pushing both ways and like learning how to balance. So, and they did like some post videos he did, like not in this documentary. He talked about how like it was actually really hard for him to get back into like traditional skateboarding because he does like a lot of mini ramp stuff nowadays. He's just like, my legs just like weren't made for it. Like an ollie felt weird because like they're just conditioned to get on the board and just like push, right?
Yeah.
So, pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that is a pretty big goal for someone to just kind of do for their own sake. I mean, obviously there was some of the charity element, but you can tell it was mostly just this guy doing it because he set his mind to it. And he's like, nope, I don't care what people say. I'm just going to go. So
it's the Forrest Gump of skateboarders.
Yeah, literally. And well, it's funny because he got a pro model, I think, from Chapman Skateboards after that was done, like the year after. And that was literally the graphic they gave him was like him sitting on, it was like Gump sitting on a bench was the graphic. So, hey, he might've got his only pro model out of it, but pretty cool.
If you're having a good time with us at Weekend Rental, I think you might enjoy all the great geeky stuff found on the Geekade Podcast Network. They've got podcasts about games, music, movies, and more. Plus, if you order off their secret menu, also known as the Geekade Patreon, you just might find an exclusive movie podcast hosted by Ryan and myself. Check it out over at geekade.com. And hey, if you'd like to turn Weekend Rental into a true multimedia experience, our YouTube and Twitch channels, might just be for you.
But I suppose we're at the weekend rental already. So weekend rental, pick a game for a given system. We'll play through it or as much of it as we can, and then Andy and I will decide if we're going to buy, rent, or burn the game. We're going back to the good old Sega Genesis, and we decided to play Shinobi 3. So what did you think of this one? I've dabbled in all the Shinobis. I don't think I'd played much of this one until this week.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I had in my head that we were playing Revenge of Shinobi.
Oh, sure.
So I played a large chunk of that first.
Also good.
Yeah. Much harder. That one was much, much harder. And Shinobi 3 was a breath of fresh air in that regard. You can actually get some progress, feel like you're powered up a few times, and man, the graphics in this game are something else.
So good. Combined with the sound design too, like this is top-notch Genesis.
Yeah, I'm like you. I don't think I've really spent any time in this game, and then kind of blew me away when I got into it.
Yeah, I mean, just that opening level with the parallax scrolling and like the layers of trees in the forest. And like the Shinobi games have always been really good on presentation too, right? Like, so the intros are cool, the music's pumping, the animations to like kick off the story and like the overworld kind of stuff is really good. But yeah, I had the same thought as you, like having played a fair amount of previous Shinobi games, was like, I really appreciated that this one was difficult, but in a mindful way. Like if you play the game in the way it wants you to play it, you're not going to have an easy time, but you're going to progress steadily, which I feel like in other Shinobi entries, I've just been up against a wall. I got instantly hooked on this one. And every time I thought like, all right, well, this looks really cool, but like, it's not going to be like this the whole way. Like the next level would just blow me away. And like the directions it goes, like that giant like poo monster thing you fight, God knows where, kind of came out of nowhere. I know, was it Revenge of Shinobi, where in the original run there's Spider-Man, Batman, and Godzilla? I don't know how far you got in 3, but I did get to Mecha Godzilla. And that's about where I tapped out. But yeah, I genuinely loved this game. Like, it's really, really good. Like, it's a very fair game. I mean, it's got its, cheap deaths and stuff, but like if you like get into it and get in the zone, like it's a hell of a time.
Yeah. I think probably the biggest fault is you can get trapped in a spot where it's just like you're on low health. You're probably not going to make it. Or you can run out of shurikens or whatever, and which usually isn't a problem,
right? If you're smart,
yeah. But yeah, wow. And then this one has some of. I saw 2 scrolling levels. I don't know if there's more. They proved that
like the
this ninja can also surf.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's very Turtles-esque.
Yeah. They definitely went, the other ones are very much, I think for the most part, like pretty ninja feudal Japan type thing.
Yeah.
Where this one kind of goes other places where
it feels almost more like a Contra game, doesn't it, in some regard?
Yeah.
Like at least the way they develop the like levels and characters and enemies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pull. Yeah, it does seem like a Contra game.
It's definitely a showpiece for the Genesis. Like they knew what they were doing with the hardware at that point and the sound design. And I like that they keep the game simple too. Like it's jump, your one like power up shield thing, and like your shurikens and like,
yeah.
But then they find creative ways to deal with that too. Like you uncover the bombs, and like certain levels you need to uncover the bombs to open up gates to get to the next thing. And like that was really smart. I loved the visuals on that like fire level.
Yeah.
Everything's just like burning in the background. I was like, this looks fucking amazing.
Yep. Yeah.
And I could never not laugh too at like his crouched ninja prance. Like it just looks so unnatural where he's like, his back is like perfectly vertical, but he's just like soft footing it on his knees. It's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of these graphics I always was like, this, those type of games were reserved for the shooters, the scrolling shooters that were like, looked at like that in the background. I didn't know there was platformers that, action games that were like that. And this one might be better than most of those in that regard too.
Yeah, I found myself like liking this a hell of a lot more than I thought I would, because I thought it was just gonna be kind of more of the same. And like, it's not that I've not been a fan of Shinobi games, but they were never like, they didn't hook me the way that this did. Like, this felt like I had constant progression and like I was learning it and playing through and like still finding new stuff. And
the enemy placement and the design of that was very thoughtful. And like, this is where this was. Where in other ones, I feel like it was just like, well, here's a guy, here's an encounter. Like everything was just another encounter instead of like, the game was designed for this guy to be here. And, eventually you catch on to some of that design and then you feel smarter that, that you're going to get this guy because you know the plan.
It is sort of bullshit the amount of like guns and artillery they throw at a guy with a sword and a shuriken though. Like seems a little unfair, but for the most part, like, real, like you said, like where they place enemies is super smart, and like learning how to play in that like dynamic of the game really makes you feel like a badass ninja, like taking down all sorts of random stuff. I mean, I liked all the boss battles. Like the patterns were, for the most part, the patterns were very manageable. There was some stuff where it's just like, all right, I'm going to get hit. So might as well take my hits and just spam the shit out of it. I tried and tried and tried to beat Godzilla and I just couldn't get any pattern down that worked.
I didn't get to him, so I didn't see that. But yeah, the controls are just really good too. I mean, the double jump, the hanging from things, and traversal of that regard, it's really cool in that regard, and good controls.
And to that point too, like the hanging from things and elevators, like they did a good job of like doing smart level design to where you never felt trapped. Like there were times where I had to backtrack and like, oh, I need to do this thing, but I was never like pissed off or like beating my head against the walls. Like, what am I possibly missing here? And I think that says a lot, especially coming from like a Sega platformer, because Sega is not always the best at that, but this is very thoughtful.
And the variable jump too is, I mean, that's in other Shinobis too, I think, but it feels really good because you have air control and you have a variable jump, and it adds difficulty, I think.
Yeah.
But it's something where you're like, I can master that. I can, once you learn how to do it, it's giving you the control to do that.
Especially when like you get good at like the whole like double jumping and like aerial downward attacks to like really like cheese stuff or like take out enemies that were just kicking your ass like the first run. Like that feels awesome.
Yep.
And like the graphics too are so tight on this. Like everything looks crisp and like really big sprites and enemies and explosion effects. Like it's all really polished. Incredibly polished.
I'm actually surprised that, I mean, I know this, the people that play this are very much big fans of it.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was just the Shinobi group, like everybody was like, well, we love Shinobi. And I'm like, well, I've played Shinobi and it's all right.
Right.
But the fact that this one, the graphics and everything in it, and at this point when this came out, you had Vector Man and all this other stuff where it's like they're trying to do the other stuff that like, which kind of ages poorly. It looks all right, but it's a different direction,
Yeah.
This is just flat out, we did the best 16-bit graphics we could possibly do, and sound. Yeah, wow.
100%. Yeah, it definitely shows. And I'm with you because like I know what you mean. Like same with like Golden Axe or like, that those sort of people, like it, I get that it's for a certain group, but it never clicked with me. But this really hit with me. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I would have burned Revenge of Shinobi. So the fact that I'm this glowing about the next entry is crazy. It's crazy.
Well, I guess like our buy and burn ratings are probably pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I assume you're giving it a buy.
Yeah, this is definitely a buy. It's his top Sega game. Like, I would have never thought that this would have been something that I would have been like, oh yeah, this is one of my favorites, but it's definitely up there now.
Yeah, I'm giving it a buy as well. And in fact, I'm probably going to try to get back in there and figure out what I need to do to get past Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, because I decapitated him, but that doesn't kill him, I guess. So I got to keep going.
Yeah. I could see this being short at the difficulty it is, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely can cruise through the stuff, but.
Yeah. But when it's so fun when you're doing it, who cares, right? Like,
yeah.
It would definitely warrant a multiple playthrough sort of situation. So, yeah, I loved it. Definitely loved it.
Is it?
But I guess
that's it. It's weird that there's still like hidden gems like that, where it's like, I mean, sure, there's people out there just banging that drum, and they're like, yeah, I told you.
I mean, I'm sure people are like, everybody knows it's a great game. You're just ignorant to the Genesis library, but it's new to us. Like the realization that this is so much different than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I think it's just the fact that we've played the other ones that it just felt I
assumed it was going to be more of the same. I'd get 2 levels in and put it down, and but not the case.
Yeah. The old ones, you do the magic. That's the coolest thing about it. And you got to do it once. And then it was like, well, okay, now what?
Yep.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. You can contact us at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. We have a Patreon only movie podcast that we do. We're going to be doing Adventures in Babysitting. This month, so head on over to the Geekade Patreon if you want to hear that. But until next time, be kind, rewind.